Well, hey everybody, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. Well, here we are on the banks of Lake Michigan today, and we're going to spend a little bit of time on the big water on this week's show out of the port of Manistee. Did some big water fishing there, and then we also stuck around for a kids event that was happening in the area. You won't want to miss that. We're actually going to kick off this week's show doing something that a lot of us probably wish we could spend more time doing, and that is doing a little crappie fishing. And I think we're going to have time for a bragging board segment as well, so you stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gratzinger. We've got a brand new show, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosinc.com. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
A couple weeks ago, I got a chance to visit with a group of anglers from all over the country who were on Hardy Pond to fish a fish that doesn't get a whole lot of publicity, the black crappie. Did you catch it all by yourself?
Yeah. A fish hits it, and that's the end. We're going to put this in the water.
Okay, so you're gonna put the boat in the water and go catch a fish.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell them how to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay.
I've been coming to the Michigan ones for a long time now, but Don does a great job getting these get-togethers together kind of thing, and it's really just a bunch of people coming together having a lot of fun. Fishing involved, but there's more camaraderie and talking and chatting and talking about where the fish are and where the fish aren't, you know. Back in 1996, I started with one forum, and people just started posting. They wanted the Kentucky forum. Oh, okay, I'll put up another forum. I need a moderator, though. And just over time, it's been slow growth, and it's gotten big. It really has gotten big, you know. Most popular in the South. That's where crappie fishermen prevail. Up north, a little bit less so. Still a lot of enthusiasts up here though, but there's a lot of multi-species fishermen here, you know. So they crappie fish, but also walleye, bass fish, but it's really, really big in the South.
The guys from the forum Crappie.com usually get together a couple times each year to fish together and have a friendly tournament at the end of the weekend. This year's spring get-together was at Hardy Pond, which is an impoundment of the Muskegon River. Offering miles of shoreline that holds crappies, it's a popular destination. This time of year, the fish can be found holding tight to structure, the most popular being fallen trees.
On a tree like this, a good tree, what would you expect to catch off this tree?
Oh, anywhere from a dozen to literally 2 or 3 dozen. If they're spawning, there may be 50 to 100 fish down there. It's really quite amazing how many fish will be in these trees.
Fishing inside of a brush pile like this isn't a typical way to fish other species, so the crappie enthusiasts use specialized equipment. Long rods, slip bobbers, and patience is needed for this kind of fishing.
They're just nice eating size crappies. This one's got a little mark. Could be from a pike, could be from spawning. They get up in them trees and they kind of beat themselves up a little bit.
Like any panfish, crappie are good table fare. Decent sized fish are usually tossed in the live well. John says that getting in tight to the cover is the key early in the summer.
So I can see that treetop is touching your arm.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. Get right in there.
Yeah, because you get right down into the pockets in the trees. A lot of times I'll actually drop them right in from the tops, and then occasionally you end up in the trees. You know, it's a method that you can catch a lot of crappie on, and it works down Ohio and Indiana, anywhere where you find these brush tops. There's always fish in them, except when it gets really hot in the summer.
Is that one that got you hung up there?
Yeah, and it got me in there again. Yeah, there we go. That's where some 8-pound line comes in handy, and I'm only running 6 today. They're hard fought crappies.
Oh, good, he spit it. Nice, thanks, guy. I didn't want it to handle you anyway.
Shiny Honey's the bait. Made in Arkansas. You want to keep this one, John?
No, he's a little small. I like a 12-foot B&M rod, and I'm just using a standard open or a closed face spinning reel. Sometimes 6-pound, usually 8-pound line with a light true turn wire hook. The true turns work blood red. They work really good. Little slip bobber. If you're fishing really tight, you can use just a jig in a minnow. That'll keep the minnow from wiggling and getting tangled up quite as bad, but you don't get the same action, so you don't catch quite as many fish that way. I much prefer catching them with a standard slip bobber rig, just minnow, a split shot about 6 inches above it. A lot of fun. Just if you want to have a good day of fishing, go fish some crappie in the trees. Now this one, I would say that's a female. It's pretty full of eggs. So if they're not spawning, they're very close to it.
Nearby we found the DeShano family fishing a submerged tree and doing quite well. This is definitely a family-friendly get-together. Bruce was fishing with his son Nick, daughter-in-law Renee, and 4-year-old grandson Ari. These guys are definitely pros at trolling, but they are quick to adapt to other techniques.
There we go.
Nice hardy pond crappie, not monsters, but a lot of what we catch, we get a few big ones here and there, but a lot of fun. And these little logs we've been fishing out here, we just cast it out and just kind of drift it, let it work its way back to the boat without cranking anymore, and we have just to keep the line tight, and they'll just hit it on the way in. There you go.
Oh, you got a fish too.
Well, they're not shy about biting, are they? Took her right down there. Got the whole family out here. We've been doing a lot of tournaments this year and on the road quite a bit, so finally had time to come up to Crappie Camp and just have some fun for a week. We've been camping out, fishing a few crappie, getting out, probably bright and early, about 9 o'clock on the water, and fishing for a few hours, and got my dad and my son Ari and my wife Renee out with us, and we're just having fun, just trying to relax a little bit. It's been a great time for sure. All right.
You need a blue bucket.
Oh, go get the blue bucket, huh? That's what it's all about. Here, hold the bucket up.
Okay.
Put them in the bucket.
Ari, what's the blue bucket for?
The fish.
You put the fish in the blue bucket, then what?
Then you dump in them, and then you put them in the well.
Okay.
Quality family time, that's what it's all about. This get-together was organized by this guy, Don Miller. Don is an avid fisherman who wanted to get crappie guys from all over Michigan together to hang out and fish. So far, it's been a success.
Oh yeah, he's a nice one. Yeah, that's a dandy. Oh, yep. That was good. I hope you got that. He came right. He came right up off that under that log. Sweet. Yeah, another nice little one.
Sorry, it came right out of the log.
Yeah. I had dropped that jig down there, and he came right up out of that log, and we watched him take it. That's what's so great about fishing in this clear water like this, because you see everything that happens. Sweet. Another nice black crappie.
All in all, it was a great time at the Crappie.com camp. Campfires were warm, fishing was hot, and smiles were on everyone's face. Not a bad event for an often overlooked fish here in Michigan, the black crappie.
Hi, I'm Jordan Brown, and for our next segment on this week's show, I was able to stop in at a kids fishing event in the Manistee area.
Today we're having the Manistee County Sport Fishing Association's annual Kids Fish Day. And it's a day in June that we invite all the kids from Manistee County who are 6 through 12 years old to come and fish for free. And they can come and fish on man-made lake in Manistee. And here the kids are provided with rods and reels and worms and supervision so that they can come and fish and just have a good time. It's an attempt to be able to educate and expose kids to fishing, some of them for the first time. And we get kids that are being carried by their parents, as young as being carried, and as old as 12, 13 years old that come to fish. And we just try to have a good time on a good day here in Manistee County.
There's a lot to like about this event for parents and children alike. Introducing a kid to fishing is a great way to get them away from the electronic world we live in, and a fantastic way to spend time together.
We especially like this event from the point of view that it gets the kids away from their electronics for a little while and brings them outside where the activity is physical and it's gratifying. They can enjoy the weather. It's especially nice because most of the kids come with a parent or a grandparent or a guardian, and they can do things together. And so it's not just sending the kids off to do something by themselves. Most all the kids come with adult leadership with them, and then the volunteers provide that as well.
This event is not put on by one group per se, but rather by an entire community. It takes dozens of sponsors and volunteers to make an event like this one possible, and the Manistee County Sport Fishing Association has figured out a way to get everyone on board.
This project of having kids come to fish and be exposed to fishing as a sport that they can have a good time doing in their leisure time is sponsored very much throughout our community. We have local tackle shops, Tangled Tackle, Insta-Launch, Don Sporting Goods, who contribute to this event, of course, and we have other associations as well, like the National Turkey Federation contributes to it. But the whole project is run by volunteers that represent the Sport Fishing Association here in the county. We have charter boat operators who are here that provide leadership, and it's just a good project.
After a couple of hours of fishing, the kids all gathered around to see who caught the biggest fish and enjoy an award ceremony where everyone got a prize. This year's event had more than 125 kids, and they're hoping to grow that number in the future. If you have a child under 12 years old and live near the Manistee area, you just may want to check out next year's event. Well, special thanks to everyone involved in the Kids Fish Day. Events like that really do a lot for getting kids involved in the outdoors. Next up, we're going to switch gears but stay in Manistee, where I was able to hit the big lake for some steelhead and lake trout fishing.
Well, we're going to go try to catch some steelhead today is going to be the plan. This middle afternoon is always kind of a tough time to head out and start fishing, but they've been getting some steelhead offshore. There's a break forming out there. It's only been there a couple of days, so it's all brand new yet, but they've been taking some small steelhead, a few lake trout, even a couple kings, and we're going to go give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
The plan today was to head straight west out of Manistee until we could find a significant break in water temperature. This is often marked by what fishermen refer to as the scum line. Oftentimes this area can be your best bet when targeting steelhead early in the year.
Scum line is basically warm and cold water mixing together, not mixing, but the separation of the two, and sometimes you can have a 2 or 3 degree change in temperature. Today we have as much as a 13-degree change in some spots, but what will happen is when you get those changes, it'll actually push bugs and weeds and everything into that small little area, and that's what we call a scum line. So these temperature differences will form these scum lines, and then the fish will come up and feed on the bugs, and primarily steelhead and some lake trout mixed in typically. But the other thing you'll see is you'll see birds, you'll see seagulls lined up along these lines because they're there for the same reason. They're either bait fish accumulated or the bugs that are accumulated attracts those seagulls also.
Woo! Nice job. Nice. That's a dandy. That's a beautiful fish.
Real nice. Excellent.
All right.
Jim, those players are right there.
Well, we didn't even have all of our lines out when the first fish hit. A good sign in a fishery that has many Michigan anglers concerned. An apparent lack of bait fish in Lake Michigan has left people wondering what the fishery might be like in the future. And although numbers are down from the record-setting year we had in 2012, things are still looking pretty good on the west side.
You know, we don't even know yet exactly what to expect. We've seen a lot of small fish, which is good. I mean, we want to see those next generation fish coming. We're not seeing a lot of bait up here. I know they are marking some bait in other areas, but I believe the DNR that we're short on bait. We're going to be a little shorter on fish, and it's going to be a little bit of a change in the fishery. So the thing we have to, I think, understand is that we had such an incredible world-class fishery before. This still isn't bad. You know, you can come out and catch king salmon and some large king salmon, and mix in some other ones. You can come out and do what we're doing today and catch steelhead and lake trout, and it's a ball. So it's just a tremendous fishery out here. I think that I'm going to expect for the rest of the year we're going to have pretty decent fishing on and off. The one thing I would say is that it seems when you find fish, stay on your fish. You might not be able to just wander and catch fish anywhere. So when you find a spot, stick with it, especially for the kings, and try to stay on them.
Nothing to it. Nice fish.
You know, for coming out middle of the afternoon, it's actually been pretty good fishing. You know, we got into some smaller steelhead here, so we're trying to find a new spot where maybe we got some better size. But shoot, we've had five or six fish already and lost a few, and just middle of the day fishing, you can't really complain. But got a big lake trout and a nice steelhead right off the bat. So, you know, it's really not a bad afternoon, especially considering we just started fishing here the last 2 days. So it should get anything but better, and as this break kind of solidifies and we get more of a scum line, it should get better and better. I don't know. I think it's been a lot of fun so far. Beautiful day on Lake Michigan. And sometimes we kind of take that for granted when and just being here is half the fun. So.
We're sitting on a double, the Steelhead right now. Jim on his side, I think, has the bigger one on. I think I got a small one, so we'll see what Jim's looks like in a minute.
As the day went on, the fishing got better and better, and although we were targeting steelhead for the most part, we were happy to pick up a couple of bonus lake trout in the process. The steelhead fishing in this part of the state can be pretty good, as long as you can find the temperature break.
So this is the kind of the beginning of our steelhead fishery, which will last typically 2 weeks to a month. But yeah, we're quite a ways out for being this early. I think we're pushing 10 miles out. But you're just looking for those temperature differences. You know, all you need to do is, if you know what your temperature is in around the shelf area 2 or 3 miles out, keep going out or check the Coast Watch map to see if it shows a significant temperature change. And if you find that significant change, then fish that area. And we fish them fast. You know, we're going 3 miles an hour, which is a lot faster than we would fish for kings. We're fishing typically the top 25 feet, lead core and small stinger spoons. And that's all there is to it. A lot of orange. You know, oranges, pinks, reds, all great colors for steelhead. Yeah, he's coming.
Nice, good job. I got a little flustered. There's a camera right here, and I was nervous. It came through in the end, though. I rallied, ended up catching it. Looks like a drop back steelhead.
Yeah. Roughed up from being on the river, being in the river. Yeah. We're gonna let him go.
Anytime you can hit the water with friends, family, or kids, it's time well spent, even if they do blotch the occasional net job. Special thanks to Captain Craig for taking me out. It was a beautiful night on the big water here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Well, hey, thanks for watching Michigan Out of Doors this week. Make sure you are getting outside and enjoying summertime here in the state of Michigan. What an awesome time to be a sportsman here in this great state. And if you missed part of this week's show, you can always check us out online at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com or on Facebook. We're on there pretty much every day or so, letting you know what's going on as we're traveling this great state and trying to bring you a brand new episode of Michigan Out of Doors every week of the year. Thanks so much for joining us this week. If we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by the Michigan chapters of Safari Club International. For over 40 years, SCI has been protecting hunters' rights and promoting wildlife conservation here in Michigan and around the world. SCI chapter locations can be found on the web at firstformichigan.org. By Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises of Munising, exploring Lake Superior's Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore with its sandstone cliffs, caves, waterfalls, and lighthouses. Pictured Rocks Boat Cruises on the web at picturedrocks.com. By Propane, Clean American Energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. By Vanguard, a global manufacturer based in Michigan featuring rifle scopes, binoculars, and spotting scopes with lifetime warranties. Vanguard supplies sporting optics and accessories for the outdoor enthusiast online at vanguardworld.com. Closed captioning is provided by the Michigan Propane Gas Association, Clean American Energy. Propane realtors promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above.